Guys, welcome back to my channel. So in last video, if I am not wrong, we did problems on Proel and Hartnell governor. In this video we will see one problem on Hartnell governor, in which we have been told to find the total alteration in speed. You can see the last line, total alteration in speed before the sleeve begins to move from the mid position. So there is alteration, so mass is given, height h is given, n1 is given, converted in terms of radian per second, r1 is given, mean working speed, this is an important sentence, mean working speed of governor is 20 times the range of speed when friction is neglected. So this we will see while solving the problem. If length of ball and ruler arm of the bell crank lever and axis of governor spindle is 140, that is r is given. Okay, determine the initial compression of spring. Initial compression, okay, taking into account the obliquity of arms. Obliquity, okay, if friction is equivalent to a force of 30 newton, that is friction value is given as 30 newton, find the total alteration. Okay, so this is the data which is given. So let's see, while solving the problem we will come to know what to do. We will also learn here some important formulas. So let's start the problem. Nice. As you can see the diagram I have drawn, it is the same diagram that I thought you like while explaining the derivation. So in that problem which we are going to solve, in that value of x was not given. So take value of x, consider it as 120. Consider it as 120 mm. What all was given? Ball, mass of ball was 5 kg, sleeve lift was 50 mm, N1 was 240 rpm, R1, that is the radius of the ball path. The radius of the ball path, that is ball path what? The distance from the governor axis to the ball path is equal to 110 mm. And value of y was also not given. So consider value of y as 100 mm. Actually the question is somewhat incomplete. That is the bell arm and the sleeve arm values are not given. So consider x as 120 and y as 100, and finally frictional force is equal to 30 newton. So what we have to do first a condition is given, a condition was given in the question, the mean working speed, the mean omega mean is equal to 20 times the range of speed. What is the range of speed? Omega 1 minus omega 2. So what is omega mean? Omega 1 plus omega 2 upon 2 is equal to 20 into omega 1 minus omega 2. What is omega 1? Omega 1 is equal to 2 pi n1 by 60. So omega 1 is equal to, substitute the value and get the answer. Yes, omega 1 is equal to 25.14 radian per second. Then the next, so omega 1 is 25.14. Omega 1 is 25.14. So substitute the value, you will get omega 2 as, just substitute omega 1 as 25.14, you will get omega 2 as 26.43 radian per second. Next, this formula, as I explained in derivation, the relation between h and y by x, h is equal to r2 minus r1 y by x. So we know r1 is 110, the ball path from the governor axis. We want to find r2, we know h, so 50 mm converted into in terms of meter 0.05, r2 minus 110 converted in terms of again meter 0.11 into 0.12, sorry, just a minute, into what was y1, 0.1 upon 0.12. So R2 is equal to 0.11 plus 0.05 into 0.12 upon 0.1. So what you will get, 0.11 plus 0.05 into 0.12 upon 0.1. So we got 0.17. Yes, 0.17. So R2 is equal to 0.17 meter. Now see, it's a step-by-step procedure. Here what is the difference you will know. Now centrifugal force Fc is equal to m omega 1 square r1. So what is m? 5. What is omega 1? 25.14 square. What is r1? 0.11. So Fc1 value will be 347.6. Just substitute the value, you will get Fc2 is equal to m omega 2 square r2. What is m? 5. What is omega 2? 26.43 square. And what is r2? 0.17. So what is Fc2? 593.8 Newton. If you want to just check, see, 5 into 26.43 square into 0.17, 593.76, that is 593.8. Now the main thing which we have to do, see, visualize this properly. See, this is how I have solved the main condition. Then I have found out omega 1. Then I know omega 1, we have found out omega 2. Then this formula we have applied, which I explained in derivation. R2 we have found. Then R1 we know, Fc1, Fc2. Now next step. Next step. Now what we have to do next? Now find Fs1 and Fs2. Now here since they have told, taking into account the obliquity sleeve, that is the alteration r minus r1, that is, what is a1? What is a1? This, what is a1? That is r minus r1. So r we know. What is r? 0.14. This is r. What is r1? 0.11. So it is 0.03 Newton. Now in this triangle x1 is equal to x square minus x1 is equal to root of x square minus a1 square. That is by Pythagoras theorem. In this triangle, a1 x1 x, okay, and similarly y1, that is this triangle, is y1 and h1. So by Pythagoras theorem, just substitute the values, you will get x. What is the value of x? 0.12 square. So root of 0.12 square minus 0.03 square, you will get 0.1162. And for y1, root of 0.1 square, y1 is given 0.1 square, and value of y is 0.1 square, y1 we have to find, and h1 is 0.025 h1. So how we got h1 is equal to 0.025? H1 is equal to h by 2. H by 2. What is the actual sleeve lift? The actual sleeve lift is, that is this both, considering this both, we have considering half. So it is, see, remember this, this is a very important thing. Y is given 0.1, that we know. Many people take here minus 0.05, which is wrong. We have to do 0.05 by 2 the whole square, because we are considering h1, not h. So we will get 0.0986. Similarly, this was for minimum position. Now for maximum position. Now maximum position x2. First a2 is equal to, see, a2 is equal to r2 minus r. This you know, no? Bell arm goes rightward and sleeve arm comes upward. Bell arm goes leftward, and you have to always consider the distance from the bell arm to the axis. So it all depends upon the position of the bell arm. So a2 is equal to r2 minus r. Then here x2 is equal to x1 and y2 is equal to y1. That is, the values will be same. Both are equal, no? That is why we have halved this part. Now you will understand. And r2, we know what is r2, 0.17, and what is r, 0.14. It is given in question, and 0.03. Just x and y were not given, that I have considered, assumed some value. In exam it will be given, so don't worry. And now the final thing, not the final thing, it's a movement step, and we have to take movement about 0.0 for the minimum position. So for the minimum position, when we take movement, what will happen? Mg plus fs1 upon 2 into y1, perpendicular distance, and fc1 into x1, this is anti-clockwise, positive minus negative. So fc1 into x1 minus mg into a1 minus mg plus fs1 upon 2 into y1 equal to 0 for minimum. So what we have to find? fs1. So fc1 into x1 minus mg into a1 equal to mg plus fs1 by 2 into y1. So just substitute the values fc1, x1, mg into a1, mg to y1. You will get fs1 is equal to 804 Newton in terms of fs1. Similarly, in terms of fs2, here the only difference, see, here the only difference is, see, I will tell you. The mg part will be here positive, since the a2 here is like inside. See, it is out, from the, it is displaced outwards. The bell arm is displaced outward, so it will be like this. That is fc2 into x2 plus mg into a2 minus mg plus fs1 upon 2 into y2 equal to 0. So fc2 into x2, we know x2 is 0.17, then plus mg 5 into 9.81 we know, into a2 we know a2 is r2 minus r. So a2 r2 minus r is equal to 0.03. So into 0.03 minus capital M capital M will be 0. Since mass of central load sleeve is, see, this is also important, since mass of central sleeve is not given here. It is not given, right? So we'll consider it as 0. So Fs1 directly upon 2 into Y2. So what is Y2? Y2 is 0.03 is equal to 0. So Fc2 into 0.17 is equal to, just take Fs1 upon 2 into 0.3 this side, plus 5 into 9.81 into 0.03. So Fc2 is also given. What is Fc2? Value of Fc2 we found out, no? What was the value? 593.8. So let's see if the answer matches. The answer matches. So 593.8. I am having certain answer. It is telling that Fs2 should come 1456. So 593.8 into 0.17 plus 5 into 9.81 into 0.03. Okay, 102.41 into 2, 204.835, then 4.835 divided by, I should be right if there will be some mistake. Okay, there is some mistake here. Y2, just a minute. Y2, oh, extremely sorry. Y2, A2 is 0.03, Y2 is 0.0986. So just a minute. There is 0.0986. 2077. It's 2. This is also 1162. Oh, see, R2 is 0.17 and R is 0.14. Now we will get, see, this is 1162 x2 and y2, no, y2 is 0.0986. This is 0.03 into 0.03 and this is 0.0986. Just I'll explain it again, don't worry. So I will rough it. So see guys, A1 was 0.03, x1 equal to x2 was 0.1162, y1 is equal to y2 was 0.0986, A2 is 0.03. So Fs1 upon 2 into y1 is equal to Fc1 into x1 minus mg into a1, and Fs2 upon 2 into y2 is equal to Fc2 into x2 minus mg into a2. Now substitute the values, you will get the correct answer. Then finally S equal to Fs2 minus Fs1 upon h, and Fs2 we get 1456 minus 804 upon h, that is 50. So we'll get 30.04 Newton per mm. And now we have to find the speed, no? So first initial compression we have to find. So what will be the initial compression? Initial compression is equal to Fs1 upon Fs2. So whatever we get, 804, no, I think initial compression is Fs1 upon S. Yes, initial compression is Fs1 upon, spring stiffness. If they ask final compression, then Fs2 upon S. So 804 upon 13.04, which we get 61.66. Okay, I know this is a bit complicated sum, but here now the new formula which we will learn is omega. We know omega 1 plus omega 2 upon 2. So omega 1 is 25.14 plus omega 2 is 26.43 upon 2, that is 25.785. So n for this is 246.2. Now speed when the sleeve begins to move downwards, so frictional force will be minus, this is n dash is equal to n root of Fs minus F upon Fs, and when sleeve move upwards, n double dash is equal to Fs plus F upon Fs. So this is the two new formula. When downward, sleeve moves downward, when sleeve moves upward from the mid position. Remember this formula, this is a standard formula. Just substitute the values, you will get n double dash as 249, n dash as 243, and difference will be 6. So guys, if you like the video, like it, please share and subscribe. Till then, peace out, stay safe.